Yo, welcome to Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and this is brought to you by the Concert app. The Concert app is an artist accelerator app that takes artists from opener to headliner to on tour, gives the fan the best experience in independent live music. How do I become a headliner? Now, let's talk in the form of before we get to concerts. So, in the original way to know you were a headliner, it's hard because the thing was back in the day, you never really got a chance to build your fan base that way. So you just had to know you had fans because the only shows you got were either national shows, which didn't give you a clear picture of how many people were really your fans because people would buy tickets from you to go to a national show because they want to see the national artist. So, like, let's say I'm on a show with 50 Cent and it's like everyone wants to see 50 at this time. So then if I get all my fans and I say, hey, all my fans bought tickets, I sold 100 tickets, all those people probably want to see 50 Cent. So that doesn't mean those people would turn over to come see me. So it was very hard because it wasn't that many shows. A lot of people had like a couple showcases and stuff like that. So you couldn't really tell who was a person that could actually do it. And the only way I knew was that's why I bought out a big venue one time. The first time I ever did it, I paid for a venue called the Gothic, which was I think it's 1,000 person venue, and it's like, and we did it. We did numbers. We put like around 1,000 people in it, and so it's like it's hard to be able to figure out if you're a headline, if you're ready, because you never really get the chance. Now with more shows coming around, you start to kind of see. And the way you make this judgment of if you're ready to be a headliner is like, I always say it does matter on the venue. Sometimes you're in bigger venues because those are like venues that want to help independent artists. But let's say you were in like a 200 person venue or 300 person venue. That's why I put my number at 50. Is if you're putting 50 people yourself inside a venue, you're around what you need to be around. Yes, you should be able to put in a 300 person venue, you should be able to put half. But reality is a lot of nationals can't put half in. So let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're looking at being like, I always say, if you have 50 people in the building, you're starting to get there to be like, yo, I'm a real headliner. Like that's the determinant in my, and even in my formula. And I came to that because I started seeing how many people really bring. And so as I said, in the concert form, it's 50. You're bringing 50. People make money after this because this is what I say, like, this is the standard you're held to as being a headliner. You're getting all the promotion, your name's on the outside of the building, everybody, like all those pieces. That's why I say people need to sell 50 and then they make money from there, because the entitlement of making money before you sell 50 is one of the worst things you can allow people to, like, they will ruin their own career. Trust me. Because what happens is then you make the standard blurry. And then that makes everyone feel like they're a headliner. And if everyone feels like they're a headliner, there is no separation. So for the person that works super hard for this, they don't get any incentive for working hard. And we all know that the world has to be based off of incentives versus non-incentives for working hard, because otherwise you'll blur it and it won't be fair. And then no one will want to work because they don't need to work because they can get the same thing as the person below them. So after 50, this is why you start making money from there on. And that's where you go from being a headliner. With being a headliner, that brings opportunities in the concert way of like getting on tour. You win awards. We got awards that people have gotten. They get chains with medallions from Mile High Jewelers, David the Jeweler, from different situations. They get into some of the biggest studios. They get on to national shows. People have gotten on shows with Flow Rider, Soulja Boy, everything like that, because they are headliners. And that's inside a concert. Now, being a headliner comes with obligations. And this is what I tell people is obligations of being a headliner, being a leader. And you always want to be the, like, if you're the headliner, you're kind of like the captain of the basketball team. The night of the show, you're the captain. And everyone should feel like, I want to open for this person because this is not only going to help my career because I'm going to get in front of their fans, but I want to show them what I got too, because maybe this person will do songs with me and stuff like this. You have to create that feeling. You have to make people feel like, yo, I want to sell tickets and I want people to be a part of this because I want to be where this person is. So as a leader, you're leading the charge of being like, we're going to have an amazing night. I'm going to fill half the venue and then you guys together fill the other half. And so I knew that when I became a headliner, that's how I would try to play it with my with the artists that want to show with me. Like, I'd reach out to all of them and be like, yo, I'm going to do this amount. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. We sold out Meow Wolf. I'm telling artists, I'm going to put 250 people in here. And this is a 500 person venue. I'm going to do half of this. And now this is after me, like, I'm kind of retired because this is just last year. So I'm like retired. I'm not a crazy pushing artist at this point. Like, I haven't, at this point, I had made a song in over a year. And I hadn't released a song in over a year. And I'm saying to them, I'm going to put 250. You guys who are opening, you guys figure out the other 250. So that's what, 50 tickets a piece. Each of you do 50, and I'll do 250. That's what a leader's supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do the numbers to get us the venue and secure that there's going to be a lot of people in here. You guys get the rest. And see, that's why I feel like I can ask people to be like, hey, you need to sell 50 tickets to be a headliner, because I'm going to do it. And if anyone wants to compare, I can do it. So then I'm saying to you, yo, I'm going to do this many. You just do this many and I'll make sure we're good. And even when I'm going to a venue and like I'm putting you as the headliner, then I'm going to be like, yo, you do that many. I'll make sure you get on better shows. I'll make sure you can tour. I'll figure that out with you. You just come to the table with your fans. Fair exchange. The other obligation of being a headliner is, I feel you at that point you need to carry yourself in a space of understanding, not over exerting yourself, like doing just tons of random shows. Always do stuff in your blueprint that is going to make you do better, and understanding that now you're a product. So don't do anything to mess it up. You're a product now. You have to carry yourself as that. Now, as the talent, a headliner, you know you're talented enough to be a headliner because people are coming to see you and they're willing to pay for it. So that's why, you know, talent-wise, you are starting to get there, because this isn't a fluke of people just coming to see you because they're your family and friends. When you're consistently doing over 50 people inside a building, and this is clearly that people want to pay to see you, because your 50 friends will not hold on forever, neither will your family. So then now people are saying to you that you're talented enough for me to pay to see you. So understanding your level of talent now is of that caliber. And the one thing I always tell people, if you are the headliner, no one should outperform you or have there's a chance the person before you can have more people than you, but you really want to change that up quick. Like, the first 2-3 times that you're a headliner, you're going to probably see that. Like, the person right before you will probably have more people than you because you are an independent artist, and they probably sold the most tickets other than you. And if their fans leave right after them, then you're going to see a decline. However, when you get good enough, you get to the point. That's why I say like the difference is like if I say I'm bringing 250 people, I'm guaranteeing my set's going to look good. And it's probably going to look the best of the night. More than likely. Because the majority of people are there for me at that point. But when you're close, it is kind of hard because if you're selling, let's say 50 to 60 or 70, and this person's selling 30 to 40, then that's why you see that trickle off. But understanding the other thing is that your talent should be in a space that it looks different. That's what you want to get to. You want to get to the point that the 6 people that open for me, 5 people that open for me, you know when you see the headliner come out that this is the difference of this night. Like, this is why I'm the headliner. This is why, like, I do this. That's what you want to be said. And that's not being, like, disrespectful to the openers. It's just, like, you have to show the difference of why you're the headliner and they're opening, which that should make them feel like I have to get that level of talent. I have to get to that level of show. I have to do that. And that's what you're trying to create. Now, the headliner status is something that you then can use in the future because that's what creates your resume so people can go like, hey, if you start headlining in tons of places, that's what's going to get you more shows, more opportunities. Because when people see your face everywhere and they see your name and stuff like that, that's what makes consumers know who you are. That also makes other venues willing to work with you because they know that you've been professional in other venues, and that's part of it. I'll give you a quick example real quick. I booked a show in Arizona, and I had to use my name on the flyer because they knew I did big shows here. And I just done a big show here, so they were more willing to be like, I'll let this kid come out to this venue. So that's how you start using your resume. And being a headliner, it does that for you because it gives you more opportunities. Now, that's the breakdown of how to be a headliner and what being a headliner is. Now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go get the Concert app on all platforms on like Google Play and iOS Apple Store. If you get on the app and we're in your city, we're either doing a conference or doing shows. If we're doing shows, make sure you get into the slots and start doing the shows. If we're doing a conference, make sure you come through the conference because we'll be talking about turning music into a day job and how we're going to start building shows out there. If we're not in your area, tell all the other artists you know to start getting on there because then when we see the demand, that's what makes us come quicker. Pause. That's what makes us get out to those areas quicker. And then on top of that, make sure if you know any venues, you connect us with those venues because that makes it so we can put more shows on in your areas. Once again, this has been Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean. It's brought to you by the Concert app.